To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose unto heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is standing. A time to kill, a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. It's a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and there's a time to lose. There's a time to keep, and a time to cast away. There's a time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to keep silence, and a time to speak. There's a time to love, and there's a time to hate. And there's a time for war, and there's a time for peace. This is the Word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God. What did you just tell us, Greg? Well, I told you something God told us. There's a time for everything. This is the time for everything. I'm sorry if some of y'all have heard this before, but we've got some new people here. We need to know, these new people need to know who we are, what we're about, and especially me, the pastor. I think of Lenora. She's a walking miracle. She came to this church and said, I have no job, I have no car, I have no income, we're going hungry. We said, let's pray at this altar rail for you, Lenora. Lenora got an interview Monday and got the job Tuesday. She said, but I ain't got no car, I can't get back and forth. We came back, didn't we? We laid hands on her and we prayed again. Terrible credit. You still driving that same car?
Paid for.
Paid for. The car is paid for. How long did you finance it?
2 years.
24 months. That's just one example. Dixie. I won't even go there today. We're all here for a reason. And it's because it's the time for us to be here. There comes a time. There comes a time. I want to read one more scripture to you from Isaiah. Isaiah 43, just 2 verses. Do not cling to events of the past or dwell on what happened long ago. Watch for a new thing that I'm going to do. This is God talking to us. Watch for the new thing that I'm going to do. It's happening already. You should be able to see it by now. I will make a road through the wilderness and give you streams of cool, fresh water to drink. That's the Word of God for us. And it's saying things change. And things have changed when we let go of the old and take a hold of the new. That's how we change. That's what makes a change. What I want to talk about, I got married in 1970. I was married for 17 years. That was the worst marriage anybody could have ever had in their life. I mean, it was just terrible, terrible, terrible. She probably left at least 4 times during those 17 years with another man. And when she wasn't happy with me, but she couldn't always find who she was looking for. She was just terribly at unrest. She stopped me from going to church. She just refused to go. God had been too bad, too mean to her. And then because the marriage went so bad, and then when she did leave, she left me with 3 kids. I had custody of the 3 kids for about 9 months. After about 6 months, she tried to get custody of them, and the judge wouldn't give them to her because she deserted them. And she just kept coming back. She'd get a new lawyer and a butt lawyer, and finally she got custody of the kids, and there I was all alone. And that was around 1988, and the depression set in that words would not describe. I'll tell you, I went and bought a gun. I just did not want to be in this world anymore. I was depressed. I wouldn't answer the phone. I quit working. I had a young girl that worked for me for 20 years. She tried to keep the business going. I wouldn't even go in. Wouldn't answer the phone when my mother called me. I'd answer the phone when the young girl called me, and asked her if she could bring me some liquor or some beer, and did she have enough to pay herself? Well, I just spiraled down. Without hope, without somebody to keep. You ever been there? You ever been where you just thought, don't nobody love me, don't nobody care, I ain't got nothing. Because it hurts, it will get you down. But I just read, there comes a time comes when God says, God the Creator, God the force, God the power that just moves all this and keeps it going. God just all of a sudden said, I'm sick and tired of your foolishness. And it just, what God does, He shows up and shows out. And He showed up and Showed out in the most miraculous way. I think the first thing that kind of happened strange is my 14-year-old son called me and said, Dad, it's my birthday. I done talked to the sheriff of Pike County, and I done talked to the sheriff of Spalding County, and I'm going to come stay with you. And the electricity was turned off in my house. There was no food in that house. There may have been a couple cans or something. I made sure I had alcohol. And then he's coming. I argued with him. Oh, I wanted custody of my son so bad. I wanted all three of my kids so bad. But I just couldn't see that. And then he showed up. My mother went and got him and brought him to my house and put him out. And there I was, couldn't feed him. I said, something's got to happen. I got to do something. Me and him ate beans that night out of the can. That's bad. That's really bad. That's what kind of drunk I was, Corey. I mean, a drunk. I'd quit doing cocaine. You know, it costs $100 to do it a little bit. It costs $280 to really get where you want to go. And I didn't have the money to do that. But I could get that liquor. I could get beer. And I just stayed drunk. I'd get up in the morning and drink. But God said, I'm sick and tired of this. Your time has come. And the next day after my son came in, I went into work and I was filing bankruptcy. I had about 50 sheets of paper where I had to fill it all in. It was an economy kind of filing for bankruptcy where you do all the work instead of the lawyer. And I was dreading it, and I was sitting there at the computer, and internet friend, AOL, American Online friend, that I did not know. Matter of fact, he was a pest, always wanting to talk. And his name was M-B-A-L-A. That was his AOL name, M-B-A-L-A. It stood for Michael Bala. His last name was B-A-L-A. You could have rearranged the letters and it said Lamb. And he asked me if I would go to his internet site and look at it and proofread it. And I told him I was too busy. I was filing bankruptcy, and he begged me. And I said, well, I wanted to take a break from what I was doing. I went and looked at his internet site. And it was the biggest mess you ever seen. I realized then he was a foreigner. Everything was backwards. Like he'd say, to the store I'm going. Instead, I'm going to the store. And I went back and I said, man, that's the biggest hogwash. And it was all religion. I wasn't too keen on no religion. I wasn't too keen on Jesus. And the whole site was about trying to save somebody's soul. I said, man, that's the biggest mess I've ever seen in my life. And I ain't got time to fool with you. He says, why are you filing bankruptcy? And I said, well, I'm being sued. I got back taxes. My car's already, the income got it, but he already owns it. He's got no lien on it, and I'm just in bad shape. And he said, well, how much money do you need? And I said, I wish I had about $15,000 on I could get out of this. And he said, I'll give you $15,000. I said, man, you don't even know my name. All you know is Rosenthal. And he says, well, you don't really know me, but I own several skyscrapers in Los Angeles. I'm a multi-millionaire. Giving you $15,000 would be like you giving somebody 3 cents or a nickel. He says, it ain't nothing to me. If you don't pay me back, it won't hurt me. Let me hit you. I said, why do you want to do that? He says, for the love of God. Mark was with me, and if you ever want to ask him, he'll tell you, that man FedExed me a cashier's check for $15,000. On that same night, I went to visit my daughter, who was separated from her husband, and they called me over there to referee or get in the middle of their fight. And I got over there, and I had, when I got called, I'd only drank 1 beer, And Mark said, I'm gonna order a pizza and they'll stay here. And I went running over there and I started cussing them out. Why are y'all getting divorced? Why can't y'all work this out? Don't you? My mother and daddy's been married for 50 years and it's because they went to church on Sunday that they was able to stay. Maybe you need to go to church. My daughter jumped up off that sofa and cussed me out like I've never been cussed in my life. You listen here, you blankety blank, 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 blank. But you be telling me I need church and I need religion and I need to get my act together. You the one that's crazy. You the one that's depressed and won't answer the phone. You the one that needs help. You the one that needs God. You the one that needs to go to church. And she chewed me out. Well, we sat there and they'd been separated for about 3 or 4 months, had a big yard sale, sold everything. They was arguing over who was going to get the TV. We sat there and ate pizza, and somehow or another Mindy said, I love John. And John says, you love me, Mindy? And she said, yeah, I love you. I just get tired of arguing all the time. I just can't live with you. And he said, well, I love you too. Well, they kissed and made up and decided they was going to get back together. But we ain't got nowhere to go, Daddy. Can we come stay with you? Well, I was a month behind on the rent and just in bad shape. Just got the electricity turned back on. Well, my parents helped me, and Mandy says, I got this woman's phone number that came by the yard sale. She digs in her pocketbook and pulls out a piece of paper that says Rachel with a phone number on it. And we called, and the woman had said, if y'all decide to get back together, you hunt a place to rent. I got a house for you. So we called Rachel, but her husband answers, Stan Ayer. He's preached here one time for a revival. And Stan says, yeah, I got a house for rent. Let me show it to you. Can you meet me at 7 o'clock over on Peachtree Street? And we ran over there to find out he was the preacher. And the house was in the backyard of the church. It was the parsonage. And he says, I'll rent you the house, and it's $450 a month. Unless you go to church here, it's $350 a month. We looked at each other. He said, now there's the deposit too. Well, we didn't have no money, and they wanted to get back together, and we just told them, we broke, we ain't got no money. He said, well, where do y'all go to church? And we laughed. We busted out laughing, because we'd been arguing about it an hour earlier that everybody needed. I didn't think I needed to go, but they needed to go, and they didn't think they needed to go, but they thought I needed to go. So we go to church. Well, they go to church. They wind up with the preacher. They Jew him down to $300 a month, promising to go to church. And then if I promised him I'd come to church, he'd waive the deposit. And I didn't go. They went every Sunday, and they'd call me, Daddy, he used to be a hippie. He admits he used to smoke pot. He used to have long hair and a beard. Daddy, he's just like you. He's cool, Daddy. You'd really like it here. This is a good church. And I'd lie and say, I'll be there next Sunday. And I got away with that about 6 months, 6 weeks. But all the time, everything at work's starting to go better. It is improving. And finally, one Sunday morning, Mandy and John and Mark came in my house early in the morning, broke in, drug me out of bed. Out of bed, into the floor. Get up, you go into church. We're tired of lying to that preacher every Sunday. You go to church. So I go to church, and I had to sit on the second pew. The church was full. He sings Amazing Grace, and I cried. I wanted God. I wanted to be healed. I was tired of being sad. I was tired of being lonely. I was tired of being depressed and crying myself to sleep, not having a life at all. And I really just wanted to end it. Nobody loved me. Nobody loved me. Preacher stands up there and tells me Jesus loves me, and I think, boy, preacher, you don't know what I've done. I've enticed people to do dope. I have sinned in the worstest ways. I've committed crimes. You just don't know where I've been and what I've done. And then when we get to the back door, I can't wait to get out there. I ain't never wanted to get out of one place so bad in my life. And he grabs a hold of my hand, Monica, to shake it, and he won't let go. And I'm trying to pull away, and I'm saying, well, that was a real good message, Reverend. He said, well, wait, don't call me Reverend. I wish I was. And I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm a sinner just like you. I put my pants on one leg at a time just like you do. You know, what kind of preacher tells me he's a sinner? And it kind of got to him. And he did kind of have long hair and a beard. And I felt that, hippies have this affinity with each other. So he says, when are you going to pay me back that favor you owe me? And to get the deposit waived, I had promised him a favor. I had promised him that he would call me and ask me to do something for him, and I'd do it. I expected him to ask me to cut the grass in the church. So I didn't know what he had in mind. And he says, I'm going to call you next week. I want that favor done. And I said, what is it? And he says, well, I'll call you. Well, he called me Wednesday and asked me to be at the church at 6. And as low life as I wasn't a liar. I was still trying to be a man of my word and do what I told him I'd do. So I'd had a big meeting that day. I rented a restaurant and gave everybody a free lunch to try to talk them into signing up with me. And the favor he wanted was for me to drive a van full of old white-haired ladies to a revival, an outdoor, what they used to call a tent meeting, but it's a building with no walls, just a roof and ceiling fans and benches. They were having a revival, and I found myself there, and I didn't want to be there. Mandy went, John went, Mark went, and we all sit on the pew together. The black guy's preaching, the only black, well, him and his wife, the only two black people there. They sang a song that my grandmother sung when I was a kid, and I ain't heard it sung in church since. And it goes, well, I sometimes feel just like a stranger here as I journey down life's road. You ever heard that one? For nobody knows the troubles that I bear, nor how heavy the load. I sat there and said, identified that. Nobody knows the troubles that I bear, or how heavy the load. The next line is, but with thee, dear Lord, I found a Savior here. Let me hide, dear Lord, in thee. For this old world and all its sorrow, it's an unfriendly world to me. I bet Mary Ann's heard it. You ever heard it, Rosenthal? It's an unfriendly world to me. I can't find it in his books, but my granny and me sing it every week. And I listened to that song and I thought about how bad the world was on me, and I just wanted to get out of there. I just did not belong there. I wore new shoes for the first time today. My feet was killing me. I wore a suit and I was still wearing it. I took the coat off, had that tie I hate. And he preached about the healing at Bethsaida, where Jesus walks in and there's this guy that's been there sick and crippled, I think it was 39 years. And Jesus said, you want to get healed? And the guy said, well, I can't get down in that healing water. And Jesus said, I didn't ask you if you want to get down in the water, I asked you if you want to get healed. And the guy said, yeah, I want to be healed. He said, well, you healed. Get up and walk. Get up and take up your mat and go. And I sat there and I thought, man, I wish it was that easy. Jesus didn't ask him if he's going to quit drinking. Jesus didn't ask him if he's going to go to church or be a good person or nothing. Jesus just healed him. The only reason would be Jesus loved him. And I was a little envious, thinking, I wish it was just that easy. The preacher finishes his little sermon and they sing a song and they're fixing to dismiss us. And he says, I'd like to let y'all go, but there's somebody here I need to talk to. He says, I want you to know that I'm talking to you. I want you to know I'm trying to get to you. And you're sitting there right now thinking your back hurts. Well, I was sitting there thinking my back hurt. The Lord was sitting on a hard, didn't have his pad, hard wood bit. He says, just to know, I want you to know I'm talking to you. Your feet hurt. Brand new shoes, first day I ever wore. He says, and you're an emotional wreck, you're a mental wreck, you're a financial wreck, you don't have any kind of relationship that's worth anything in the world, and you've been considering suicide. And I thought, wait a minute, let me count here. There's about 300 people here. Out of 300 people, you know, somebody's going to have feet hurting or a back ache or be down and out. And he's just playing the odds. He don't know me. The preacher couldn't have told him. He didn't know where my heart was. And he continues to talk to me, saying, you know, Jesus just wants to love you. Don't you want to be loved? Ain't that what makes everybody happy, to have somebody who cares? Jesus cares. And at the end, he did what they call an altar call. Me and Mindy got to the end of the pew, and I'm holding hands with her, and I go toward the back. I'm leaving. And she pulls toward the front. I mean, we're standing out in the middle aisle. You know, she wants to go dog trail, and I want to go home. And so I go dog trail. That's where it happens. That's where, for many, many people, it happens. And he come laid his hand on my shoulder, and he said, "Son, you know I was talking to you?" And I said, "How did you know?" He said, "I can see the look on your face. You was the most miserable person in the world out of all of them." And he said, "Don't you know Jesus loves you?" He did that little sinner's prayer thing. "Lord, I'm sorry, and I want to be healed, and I don't want to live like this no more. I just don't know what to do, and I just can't turn it around by myself." And it led to me going to church again next Sunday, and next Sunday, and next Sunday. I had to be almost near death to miss a Sunday because of what it did. It changed my world. I'm talking about, I quit associating with all my friends that were in bands. Me and Cindy were good friends then. I was real good friends with her husband. He's gone now, and she don't mind me telling you, he was a drug dealer. I used to sell him dope. He used to sell me dope. I quit talking to him, didn't. Along with everybody else I knew. Because you can't talk to dope people and not do it. Can you, Dixie? You can't. You just can't go around dope people and not do dope. You can't go to a party where everybody's drinking and not have you a little shot. And the same thing is for drugs. So I quit talking to every friend that I knew and started talking to them people at church. Them people really cared about me. They didn't care where I'd been or what I'd done. Just like that, they loved me. Boy, I was a mystery to them. You don't know me. How do you just love me like that? How do you care? Invited me to sing in the choir, which I did. Invited me to come to Sunday school, which I did. 2 or 3 weeks after I started, they had a fish fry, and I found out they had one every year. And the point I want to get across is how it changed my life. It changed my world. It changed my everything. It changed my attitude. It changed the jokes I told. It changed the songs I sung. It changed the radio station I listened to. It changed how I dressed. It just changed everything. At work, a brand new company starting off called Chesapeake Life called me and said, "Greg, we want to invite you out to Texas and bring a guest, and we want to wine and dine you and entertain you." And sent me to the spa where I got a hot block massage and just spent money on me trying to talk me into sign. I would have begged them for a contract. And it begging me to sign. Offered me $10,000 sign-up bonus. Then another company called Conseco. They had just changed their name to Conseco. They own that Conseco field house. They called me to come to Indianapolis. They offered me $10,000 up front to sign a contract. It's expense money to grow, to recruit agents. My business grew. The day Mark moved in with me, I took in $365. How many days there are in a year is how I remember it. I took in $365 that month total. And within about 3 months, I was taking in about $3,000 or $4,000 a month. And in 2010, we took in about $40,000 or $50,000 a month. God did that. God did it. Because it was time. It was time. It was time for a change. It was time for Greg to get his act together. I started, I fell in love with that pastor, with that minister, Stan Ayer. I told him I want to be a preacher. I mean, when we started a soup kitchen, we went to tried to buy a church. I tried to buy a little church. And some other black guy, a real famous football player from Griffin named Reggie Griffin, had already bought it. And I met him there, ran into him there. He said, "I want the kind of church where it ain't just church on Sunday. I want to reach out." I said, "Well, we have a spot to have a soup kitchen." And together with Reggie and Stan there and me, we started a soup kitchen. The miracles I saw, I hardly put a penny of my own money out. I had 2 real good friends, Catherine Cook, that fixed to marry Jimmy Green, and a girl named Carol Prince that worked at Crawford, and they introduced me to the manager, and he said, if you be here every morning at 8 o'clock, I'll give you more food than you can put in the car. And we wound up having about 2 trips because he gave me just dozens of loaves of bread and everything that was left over from the night before, the pastry and bake shop. He gave me roasted chickens. Sometimes I'd get 2 or 3, sometimes I'd get 10 or 12 whole roasted chickens that were just too old to save. We started feeding. The first day I got out and rode around in a poor neighborhood saying, hey, you hungry? Come on, get in the van. Let me take you to eat free. And we fed about 20 people that day. They went and told all their friends. The next day we had about 40 or 50. Within about 3 or 4 weeks, we was feeding 150 people a day. I stood in that soup kitchen every day for 2 years serving. I never will forget this. I think it was the second day we was there. There was this old black lady, about old. I mean, just old, 80, 90 years old. And she come up to where we were serving, and she said, let me ask you something. I said, what is it? She says, why do you want to do this for a poor old, and she said the N-word. Why do you want to do that for a poor old woman like me? And I said, for the love of God. She says, well, where is he at? I don't see him. We baptized that woman later that day. And that made me right then, I got to be a preacher. I want to be a preacher. But they wouldn't let me. I brought this to show you. This is a picture of me from the Griffin Daily News. They gave me Griffin Christian Citizen of the Year, where they vote on the best barber, the best hot dog, the best hamburger. They put this whole sheet in the newspaper where you can vote on the best biscuit and the best hairdresser, just all the businesses. But in there, they listed Griffin Christian Citizen of the Year, and because of all the, I mean, we had like the mayor volunteering 1 day a week. Just, I don't know where his heart was, but we had some, you know, people in local government that volunteered, and they got to know me, and in all the places I was going begging for free food and shoes, and we wound up with a clothing bank. We fed 150 people every day for 2 years. And anyway, they put my picture, my family's picture on newspaper. And they gave me a little plaque that I got put away and added to old tired Crawford. I tell you all this to tell you, God, there comes a time when you just got to say, is this it? Is this the time? Is God talking to me? Dixie, you done been there. Who'd ever thought they'd see Dixie Bailey show up in a shirt that says God Jesus? You'll never know how much I love her because of the things that I've seen God. You love God, but you don't get to see God. You don't get to see that hand of God. But when I look at Dixie Bailey and her life and the number of people that say, Greg, you can't help it. I'm not going to do that. But I still slip and fall. I still watch something on TV I ought not watch sometime. I still listen to something I ought not listen to. I am no saint. But God thinks I'm to die for. He thinks I'm worth dying for. To make up for the stupid, mean, dumb stuff I've done. He took it on his back, carry that cross, and take that beating, and take that whipping, and take his nails for me. And if he'll do it for a wretch like me, he'll do it for anybody. And if you know anybody that's miserable, hurting, suffering, hungry, thirsty, depressed, alone, he is the miracle maker. And all you got to do is say, God, I can't take it no more. I'm sick and tired of this world. I'm sick and tired of this life. I want to change. I want you to make it all better. And God, Jesus says, bring me your burdens and let me tow them. And if you can just figure out how to do that, one of the best ways is come to an altar rail. But you can do it at the foot of your bed. You can do it sitting on the front porch. You can do it in the woods. You can do it on the lake. You can do it sitting right there on the steps. It ain't where you do it. It's a sincere, contrite heart.
Amen.
When I got so low on my back, I didn't have nowhere to go. And I believe God put me there so I'd say, God, I can't take it no more, help me. Because as soon as he got me there, I'm talking about rock bottom and then lower than rock bottom, he turned my life around. And if you know anybody that's hurting and miserable, we put one methodic out at the house this week. We couldn't keep it straight and clean. We took Corey in this week. Corey's been clean a few weeks, and he's turned out to be a wonderful house guest. Helpful around the house. I'm talking about yard work and all kind of help around the house. And it's just nice to have somebody to talk to. Him and Cindy get along. They spend more time on the front porch than I do. But it's what we do as Christians. We look for somebody that says, I need a helping hand. I need lifting up. I need somebody to tell me I ain't a low life. I need somebody to tell me I can make it. I need somebody to tell me Jesus loves me. I'd like to talk to them. I really would. Somebody made a difference in my life one time. They didn't know me, but they cared enough to try to talk to me. And now I want to be that somebody. If you ever know anybody, addiction or depression, I sure would love to meet them. I sure would love to talk to them and tell them, it's right here. It's right here at the foot of the cross. It's right here at this altar rail. And it's free. It's free for the asking. It's free for the taking. It don't cost nothing. You just say, I'll take some of that. I want something like Greg got. And it's just amazing what he would do.